ladies and gentlemen. This is Carlos Phoenix with the Lounge Network, and today we have a special event in the iLounge in Atlanta. And I have a poet right next to me where the event is holding a, what would you call it?
It's an open mic, I would assume, but I know they usually have a list open, but I know tonight they also have a list of people to perform. On the list is a lot of people that I look up to personally. Infrared is an amazing guy. I've been knowing him since I moved to Atlanta. HBO Deaf Poet Red Storm is on the list. One of his affiliates named Eliupson Reloaded, we call her Ali for short. She's on the list. So, I mean, it's a preloaded list of people that's going to perform, but it's also an open mic. Regardless, I'm here at least 2-3 Wednesdays out of the month, nice. And it's a lot of love. It's a lot of entertainment. It's a lot of thought. You know what I mean?
Well, since we're talking in front of the camera,
right?
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Durrell Lyons. I'm from Wichita Falls, Texas, small country town, country boy, but I currently reside in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm so happy to be here. Didn't realize all this was happening tonight, but since it is, hey Mom, how are you? But yeah.
So this is an open mic,
right?
Spoken word, poetry, all these different terminologies. What got you into this?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I always grew up in the hip hop music, but it got to a certain point where if you really paid attention to the music and you paid attention to the industry and what was going on, you realized that after a while, the music industry is more about the industry than the music. What I'm saying is it's more about business as opposed to the art. I came to Georgia initially to Savannah State University in Savannah, Georgia. What I'm saying is I'm more about the art. You know, I'm not necessarily as much about the business. I kind of have a method of making money. I need this to live, to express myself. So I'm more about the art as opposed to the industry. And when I realized that was going to separate me, I realized that I didn't want to do music anymore, but I still had something to say. I still had a message, if you will. So I began the poetry thing. I really wanted to drop the music, and I still add it every now and then. But my thing is, look, I don't need any studio sounds. I like a live band. I like an acoustic guitar or a straight drum line if possible. But honestly, I prefer you just give me the mic and let me do me. And, that's what I'm about.
So you did start off with music.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And now, sorry, I got my shirt's falling apart. And at what point in time did you decide, you know what, the music's not the message or the way I want to portray, put out my message? What changed? What affected you? What happened?
It was just an observation. It was the 2-year block that combined senior year in high school and freshman year in college. I essentially coming out of high school, the main people on the market at the time was Chingy and Jaquan. And I was working with some people. It was a budding label coming from Texas, from North Texas area, and it was a lot of people who were, New York affiliated, people who knew Funk Master Flex. The DJ we had was from DC. Another artist was from Louisiana, New Orleans. Another producer was from Chicago, and it was a real gumbo pot of music, being put together. And then we also knew a guy who was formerly Busta Rhymes' agent and some other people, and he just kind of dropped some knowledge on us, and he said, look, you got to realize whether you like it or not, no matter what type of artist you want to be, because of the image that you portray, because you are, 18 at the time, and you are of this age group, you are of this look, of this caliber, you automatically going to be categorized with the Jaquan and the Chingy, no matter how conscious you try to be, no matter how much of a mess you try to put in your material. That's just the business. And at that point, it really made me not like the business. Now, granted, I graduated 2004. 2005 was my first time that I ever performed without music. I just had a microphone, and it was an event. That was an open mic on Savannah State campus, and it was an organization that put it together called Word, Way of Real Discovery. So I was at a Word open mic, and I got on stage, and I spit this piece, and it was well received, and it was the first time it was well received without a beat, without asking anybody to jump or wave their hands. It was really more of, yo, listen to what I'm saying, and people actually engaged in thought with me, and that was the relationship I built with the audience. The idea that we were thinking alike and we related to each other in that manner, rather than just me having a dope beat and barely saying anything, but everybody jamming, you know what I'm saying? So after that relationship was built, that's when I was like, okay, this is my lane right here. This is my lane.
Very cool. Well, I look forward to seeing your open mic today, and thanks a lot for stopping by. Where can people follow you?
Oh, one more thing.
One more thing. Hold on.
I am a budding author as well. So I do have a chat book that I want to promote. If you don't know what a chat book is, essentially a chat book is like a musician's EP. If you know a musician's EP, it's like a 2-3 minute project that they put together and move that at a cheaper price in order to raise money for
kind of like a mixtape.
Yeah, for an author, authors don't really put out mixed books. You know what I'm saying? But
well, you got those short story books, you know.
Right. And that's exactly what this is. It's a chat book. It's a short story book. It's just a small collection of poems that I have put together that I'm trying to move. You can find me at Durrell Lyons Poetry on Facebook, Durrell Lyons Poetry on Twitter. I have you can Google Durrell Lyons and you're gonna see my blog. And I also went with a small publishing company called twopensandlint.com, and the guy is also named KP Brown. He's also a fellow poet. So if you go to twopensandlint.com, TWOPENS and lint, LINT.com /Lyons, that's my last name, LYONS, then you're able to purchase my book online. It's Durrell Lyons, DURRELL LYONS, Durrell Lyons Poetry, Facebook, Durrell Lyons Poetry, Twitter. Google it,
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much. Hey, give it up to him for being here. I wasn't expecting it at all, but since he's here, we're going to give my man Los a shout out. From everybody at iLounge, we like to say thank you to the Lounge Network for being present. Appreciate y'all.
Okay.